y'all, it's the Ringside Club Paul. A.O. Blame Boogie, Chad Law. The power's back, triple power bomb. The big dog trio in the stream, y'all. Go outside, hit the venue guard. It's all love when you see us, Lord. Back to the pad, on air for the pod. Ringside Club, intro to the squad. Let the show start. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What up with it?
We back.
What up with it? I mean, we could do it all. No, we gonna run with this.
Let's run like that. Let's run like that. It's a two-man squad tonight. Two-man power trip. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir. How we feeling, Brody?
Feeling good, man. You know, it's a nice, blessed Thursday. The skin clear. Got my hair out. You know, feeling like Fabio right now. Got to get the rebraid popping. Clean, fresh kufi on my head right now. You know what I mean? That PMF hat go crazy in the streets.
That's a good piece of material right there, bro.
When I was out, literally right after we linked, son, went to this Tequila Fest joint, Brooklyn Navy Yard. It was a vibration. Man, got stopped immediately. Like, yo, where you get that hat from? Group of homies, group of ninjas. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, where you get that hat from? I was like, yo, it's part of my fresh, man. You know what I mean? Lifestyle wrestling brand. It was just like, yo, wrestling? Yo, name your top 5 right now. Right now. I was just like, you know what I mean? Shorty was looking at me like, did they just bust out a wrestling, you know what I mean, joint in front of you? What was right now?
Came here for the beverages and the vibes.
You know what I mean? And it stumped me because it was crazy because I had to think on my feet, like, wait a minute, who are my top 5 right now? He's like, I don't want all time. I want right now. I was just like, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. I was just like, it's like thrown off the fly.
It's the best I can do right now, man.
Javon Evans and Trick Williams. Oh, you really tapped in. I was just like, yeah, sure. Right now. It's like right now. You know what I mean? So shout out to the homies. They checked it out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they cop the hat. If not, they better cop a hat when they see this go up on the timeline because they followed the good brother. So
yeah, man. I mean, might as well get the plugs out of the way. That hat that's in my background, the hat that's on my head, the hat that's on Chad's head, plus another option, a nice little blue and orange joint. Speaking of blue and orange, man, the NBA season is about to start again next week. You know, that's like Christmas for me, so I'm looking forward to that. But you can get all of these fine pieces of headwear at partofmyfresh.com. Look at this one. This is a bestseller right here. It ain't your everyday average, folks. A little bit of leather never hurt nobody.
In the streets, man. Mean in the streets. You heard me?
Yeah. And yeah, man. I mean, what was the last show we did? It's been a couple of months, I guess, right?
People thought we fell off. They thought we fell into that category of podcasters that just stopped doing the show because they got sick of wrestling. And for a second, you would have thought that would have been the case because of just how sick of WWE programming we were at one point in time. We still communicate and joke about it, but we're still very much so watching what's going on. Y'all see what's going on the timeline. You know, we're still very much so interactive. But as far as potting and just telling y'all how much frustrated we are with the WWE product, we just didn't want to give you guys that. You know what I'm saying? And just join the fray of frustrated WWE guys and not sound like too much of AEW, smarks. You know what I mean? Because AEW, for the most part, has been putting on some pretty fun content. Like, their side of the world is fun. Like, they've got their mess ups, but like we've all said, AEW is like Mad TV. You just know what you're going to get with AEW, whether you like it or not. You're going to get the Who World Order in a great abundance of members with the Don Callis family. It's a lot of funny stuff going on in AEW, but we enjoy it. WWE, as we'll dive into, is just rinse, cycle, repeat. It's made me feel like I'm back in 2018 again, 2019, that pre-AEW era. You know what I mean? Like that Vince McMahon rinse, cycle, repeat. Like, it feels like that. So we took some time off, you know what I mean? Lifestyle, we working, we grinding. And we were just like, it's time, man. People been asking.
A lot of work, bro. I mean, just been a lot of work, man. I know all three of us, Bug included. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
moving and shaking just on the day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Today, like there was a nice little chunk of changes. We spoke early, like you down. We spoke a few days ago, and then confirmed again this morning. Like, yeah, down through the pod. I'm like, yeah, and then there was a moment this afternoon where I'm like, bro, this might not happen. I'm shot. You know what I mean? But it's definitely always good to get on with the bro and chop it up. Going on, man. I know if anybody's tapped into my other channel, Signature Move TV.
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple of videos earlier this week about two brand new world champs. I saw at least portions of both of those shows, speaking about TNA with Mike Santana and New Japan with Konosuke Takeshita. So, we'll dive a little bit into that. AEW has a podcast, a pay-per-view coming
Hey,
up.
with RJ.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Got a podcast.
They got a show coming up this weekend. And just a lot of stuff happening in the news in general, man. Like even before we get to the shows, there's news all over the timeline today. I think Andrade probably leads off with that. Um, so I mean,
I
we could
just
set
read
it up.
into it.
We could set it up a little bit, but let's before we super duper get started, let's remind everybody if you're tuned into us right now, we're live on YouTube, we are live on X, formerly known as Twitter, but we are also on Instagram, we are also on TikTok, the wrestling club dot what's the name of the show? The Ringside Club.
The Ringside
Jeez.
Club.
The
The
wrestling. Yo,
Wrestling Club.
shout out to the
shout out to
wrestling
Victor
club.
Perry, yo.
Yeah, shout out to TWC, man. Good sir, Professor Perry. But that's how long it's been. Forgot the name of the day.
Yo, my man, you thought my man just did a seminar at the school. So, yo, shout out to the Wrestling Club. Like, where are you? Was just up there?
Yo, that's funny. TheRingsideClub.com. You can find all of the shows. We're everywhere on demand, everywhere the podcasts are available, of course, on demand on YouTube. If you don't catch the live, and as far as I go, you can catch me at I am A.O. Baker. Hit up a little Signature Move TV. That's everywhere on socials as well. A little hip hop, a little pro wrestling, real short, straight to the point, 90 seconds or less. And yeah, part of myfresh.com. Chad, what up?
It's the kid CHADLAW, Young Adaba himself, live and direct. It's the RSC, the Almighty. It's been a minute since we've been here. I'm excited to be back. New backdrops galore, new hats, new merch galore. We've got a lot of graps. Y'all been wanting our takes, and here we are giving it to y'all right now. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about us. We are here on Thursday nights. We're going to be back for the wintertime. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about. And I think we should just keep things in sync with how we always have it. If you want to run through the news cycle, I think we can start with the news cycle, and we'll jump into Champions Watch, prepped and cooked, and then we can just do AEW Wrestle Dream. You know what I mean? Do our predictions. I feel like it's enough where we can just take care of that. You know what I mean?
I'm looking at two little topics right here. We mentioned Andrade, and I'll get to Andrade in a second. But I'm seeing that there's a report that came out that Jacob Fatu is injured and could be out until sometime next year.
Oh my God.
Sometime next year.
Breaking.
This is according to Bodyslam.net. Fatu suffered a non-wrestling injury that could keep him out of action for an extended period of time, perhaps well into 2026. No other details right now. But non-wrestling injury, so it's something that happened outside of the ring, apparently.
So you know what? I think this all makes sense as to why he's been not performative. Pause these last couple of weeks. Months, I should say. 'Cause he's been on ice.
That's a shame. Like I've been like dipping in and out, like at least try to catch up on the timeline or on the news sites or whatever with the shows, or at least watch the clips on YouTube if I can catch them. And I haven't seen him really involved in anything as far as like big matches, big feuds, and the angles in quite some time. And if you rewind a few months ago, he was one of the hottest things smoking in WWE. So if whatever's happening, whatever this report as far as bodyslam.net is related to that, then that makes sense. If it's not related to that, and this is a separate thing, and it was booking decisions, and then off to the side was whatever this injury is, then that's questionable booking. But either way, best wishes to Fatu, man. Get healthy.
It's tough because I figured that would be the case with the Drew McIntyre feud. Obviously, he would lose that, and Drew would go on to be the number one contender. Now, this leaves a void for SmackDown with who will Drew feud with to fill the void. Will it be Shinsuke Nakamura, Carmelo Hayes? There's a plenty of people that Drew McIntyre can easily defeat now, even Solo Sikoa and his return. So SmackDown has been for the most part pretty eh. Raw has been pretty eh. NXT has been rather interesting. I'm an NXT guy. I know it's not favorable to many, but it's unfortunate with Jacob Fatu though. Like, bro was really on the up and up, and we were so ready for a Jacob Fatu ascension into the main event picture.
Yeah.
If it wasn't with this feud with Drew, it was going to be 2026, that him and Braun Breaker type of year. So it's unfortunate, man, but I think it kind of works right now because if you take the Drew feud out, he wasn't really a factor in much of anything on SmackDown. And as long as
But
he's not feuding
that's
with
what I'm
Solo,
saying.
I'm
Yeah.
cool. Like,
But that's what I'm
keep
saying.
that
Like
feud away.
if the reason that he wasn't involved in too much significant as of late has to do with this injury, and it could be that this was the case for a while and it's just now coming out,
Right.
right? But if it was like booking decisions, like yeah, we're gonna cool Fatu down, that's just another question mark in the WWE box. Like, why would you want to do that? Like,
Right.
he's one of the main reasons or main acts that I would look forward to when I would watch SmackDown, because whatever he's involved in, whether it could be just a promo, it could be a match, it could be an angle, combination of all three. I like Jacob Fatu. It's the same way like when I turn on Raw, watch Raw clips. I enjoy anything that Penna's involved in for the most part because I like Penna. Like I have my
Fair. It's
favorites
fair.
that regardless of what's going on, I'm gonna check for them, and Fatu is right up at the top of that. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Get well
But
soon, good brother.
best
Get well
wishes,
soon.
yeah. Best wishes. Now over to this Andrade thing. This was from Wrestling Observer Radio. WWE apparently sent AEW a letter telling them that they can't use Andrade on their TV shows, and it's related to a non-compete clause in his WWE contract. It says this was a surprise given reports that Andre was fired by WWE for violating the wellness policy. Then it goes on to say PW Insider followed up with more details later in the day. A source told them that WWE doesn't want to have a situation basically where a wrestler can get intentionally fired by violating policies and then go to a competitor for the next day. This is why they're trying to enforce a non-compete period without pay. Wow. Non-compete without pay for Andrade. So after he was on AEW Dynamite, he worked a couple of dates in Mexico. He was contacted by WWE to clarify the terms of his release, and that's why he hasn't been on AEW programming since then. And then one last note, Brian Alvarez says that this is pretty much a new standard for WWE/TKO contracts to include a 1-year non-compete period if a talent is fired for a cause or otherwise breaches their contract.
Andrade's return. Andrade's return for Dynamite 7-year anniversary. It's gonna be remarkable, man. It's gonna be noteworthy, yo. It's gonna be noteworthy a year from now, my good brother.
Look, man, whatever the cause was, wellness policy violation, to be, and it seems like his non-compete is not the year, so I think it's still a 90-day.
Oh, it's
and he
not?
has,
All right.
yeah, I think. I could be wrong about that. A year non-compete is trash. And this is just more heavy-handed corporate BS from a corporate behemoth like TKO. I think it's whack. You know what I mean? Like, if the guy isn't there anymore, I understand a non-compete, but a 1-year non-compete for being fired with cause is crazy. But I guess it's also pretty standard in corporate world. So what am I gonna say? That's whack.
I can't really knock WWE per se because I feel like AEW and Tony Khan do the same type of business when it comes to their roster.
All of them do.
They just don't get used. They'll just sit at home and they'll just wither away till their value just depletes into obscurity for a year or two. As we see with Britt Baker, Wardlow, interchangeable guys, Private Party. Like, there's a lot of people that, on the other side of that coin, he's like, hey, I'm not about to shine you up for you to jump ship, or you're not about to fight someone to get kicked out like how Andrade did previously. So it's it's both sides. So it's like I can't really, that is like that. The one thing I can agree on is that's the corporate BS, like
Yeah,
completely. There's nothing we can do about that. But
yeah.
both sides are guilty for similar tactics.
Yeah, for
WWE
doing the
is just
same
saying, "Hey,
thing.
you're fired. You just can't compete for a year." AEW is like, "Yo, we'll keep paying you. We're just not going to use you for a year." It's like
I mean, look, a non-compete without pay for a year is
they could be
outrageous.
making Andrade the example until we get that clarity on the 90 days.
I mean, I
That's
get it, but
tough.
that
That's
also
a
hasn't been
tough thing.
something. I understand, but it also hasn't been something that I've heard a lot of from WWE in general. Like, how many times over the last, let's say, year, 2 years, 3 years, have you heard about somebody getting fired intentionally from WWE or
Jeff
trying to
Hardy
get
might have been the
fired?
last one.
I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm not privy to whoever has wellness violations, anything like that, but it just doesn't seem like a very common thing. So to make Andrade an example for who's actually tried to get out of their contract like that. I've heard of people asking for releases, but violating a wellness policy on purpose at WWE, I haven't heard of. Even at AEW, I haven't heard of that. I heard of people trying to start fights and like
Yeah,
Andrade tried to get out before, and a couple people have had issues. But either way, man, a non-compete for a year without pay is insane. 90
rough.
days, I guess if you got a little couple of coins stacked up, that ain't too bad. But so I hope it's closer to the 90 days than it is to the year for Andrade, because I was excited when he came back. That was a
Me too,
very
yo.
that
I
was
can't. Me too.
what I will say about that, his return, is it was very, very nice to see an unspoiled return. Because nobody had that on their radar at all. Like, he
Nobody.
literally, news went out 15 minutes ago, and all of a sudden he's on TV. That was a nice old school. I was on Raw, now I'm on Nitro type of
That
vibe.
was a good pop. That was a
Yeah,
good pop. For the fumble that
a
followed
pure
after,
surprise.
that was typical AEW with the Mad TV antics
What was
of.
the fumble? You don't like the Don Callis family?
Oh, I wasn't even gonna mention the
What was the
who
fumble?
order. Oh, I was gonna say just this whole 90-day thing, this whole
Oh,
no compete.
yeah,
So it's like surprise, he's gone. That was like,
yeah,
oh, that was fly, but damn, like
yeah,
that Kenny Omega thing is just we'll save it for
yeah.
January. You
Put
know
it
what I
in the
mean?
back pocket.
Yeah, it's in the back pocket.
Put it in the
We
back
don't have to
pocket.
spend too much time on it, but Ridge Holland in his situation,
What happened with Ridge?
he got released, cut from his contract. Let me say he was notified that he will not have his contract renewed at the end of its terms.
Okay.
While
Wow.
he's currently injured out for 7 to 9 months, so he
Oh,
will
he's injured
probably
now, and they released him while he's injured?
he will not be renewed at the end of November or December, I believe. So he will continue to remain, I think,
Wow.
unpaid. I think he'll cover a portion of the rehab or like some of the rehab or most of it, but for the most part, he will be completely out of a wrestling company to work for while he's still injured and recovering. So a lot of people are saying it's going to be some type of lawsuit on his behalf because of just releasing him, leaving him unemployed, not being paid. He didn't get paid for his TNA appearance where he got the injury. So it's a lot of like working parts that I just caught online that I was like,
Wait,
tough
he
break,
didn't
guy.
get paid. He didn't get paid from the
The,
TNA, like the pop up.
yeah, apparently he did not even get paid from his appearance where he got injured in the match with Moose.
Yikes.
So that's going to lead to some more turmoil as we start to get back up on the podcast space. So I figured we just mention it here for those of y'all that care about Rich Holland. He is the guy that went from main eventing PLEs with Sheamus and Brutus. What was the name? I said Brutus. Why is it escaping me? What
Was
was
it
Pete Dunne's name?
the brutes, right? The brawling
Yes, the
brutes.
Brawling Brutes to curtain jerking on Evolve, which is crazy. Which officially is if you're going from here to there, your time's up, buddy. We've seen it with Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Cedric Alexander, many of folks. So I think
That's
it's
crazy.
official. If you didn't know, if you go from main roster to NXT Evolve curtain jerking, you might as well get your All Elite graphic ready. If
Well,
that.
best wishes to Ridge Holland. That sucks.
Best wishes to Ridge Holland, my man. That was tough. But let's get into some more of our segments, man. Let's do a
Oh, wait,
good
wait,
old
wait. Seth
fashioned.
Seth Rollins is injured.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is injured as well too. How could we forget about that? Seth Rollins is injured.
Wow.
No
Pardon me,
word.
folks. I've been, catching up here and there. I'd missed that one completely.
We did tell
So that's
y'all.
probably why the turn happened then.
Yes, that is exactly why that happened.
What's the injury? On his way back from Crown Jewel. Let's see.
He did a
Scheduled to be a
diving
part.
headbutt. He did a diving headbutt.
Oh,
A
when he
lot.
did the coast to coast, he got
The
injured there. He
coast to
was holding his
coast.
hand.
Yes, that is what caused the
Ah,
injury. So this is what we are waiting for to see if this is going to be a work or not. We don't know. We have wait. The speculation is it's not a work, but you see how it went last time. So it's just like, all right, until he really pops up and the world title's relinquished, whatever, man. We'll see what happens on Raw. But that turn was so needed, so needed. We needed that, man.
so where's Heyman aligned? Is he still with the Vision, or is he still aligned with Seth Rollins?
He's
Because
with
leading
being
into the pay per view, it was supposed to be if you lose this match, then I got to question if I'm still down with you. But he
he's
but
with
he
B&B
won.
security. He's with B&B security. That's why they fast
Interesting.
tracked Seth talking smack and Seth saying, I did this on my own. Seth's whole point was, I didn't need none of y'all. Like, I didn't need no help. Y'all was questioning if I could beat Cody by myself. Beat him by myself.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
It was
Interesting. Very,
beautiful.
very interesting.
Bro, it was beautiful. It's probably the best Raw that I've seen. Like, that was the perfect Raw to watch coming into tonight's pod because I was like,
Yeah.
this was
Only
good.
thing I
This
saw
was
was the spear, to be honest. Like the clip you sent, I watched it, but I didn't. All I saw was the spear. I didn't see anything that led up to it.
I watched Raw in its entirety, and the Easter eggs they put out was really cinema to the point where if they're working us, F y'all, because y'all really just worked the hell out of us, yo. From Seth saying, nothing could stop me, nothing could knock me off my mountain right now. This is the greatest weekend of all. Like, he was that elated to where you're just like, he's too eager. Like, he's excited. And to get to that clip that you saw was all of that leading up throughout all of Raw on Monday. And I was like, this is dope. We
Makes
didn't see
sense.
this coming, but y'all laid it out in front of us that, like, he was so confident that nothing would happen and he'd celebrate the night and he'd be the man. Because, yo, you didn't really notice, yo. Like, I don't know if you peeped. Bro, they had their own graphic for the first time. And I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen this. And this group's been a faction for, like, months. That
Very
was
interesting.
so crazy to me, but I was like, yo, something is up. Like, we don't usually see them
Something
come
is
out together.
something's afoot.
Something is afoot because we don't see them coming out together. There's like 4 different groups within the group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Seth, B&B security, Paul B&B security, Becky Seth Paul. Like you just so the fact that when they came out, there was actually a graphic that I just happened to peep in. Pardon me, y'all. If there was a graphic previously and I skipped it. But I thought that was another Easter egg that led to the main event where I was just like, wow, that was really good. Like I would have never saw that coming.
That's interesting though, because like I'm thinking the one thing that I'm thinking about here is like what determines which direction Paul Heyman takes. Like if Braun turns on Seth, and you figure Braun and Bronson Reed are rolling together, Seth is still the world champ until he relinquishes it. So it
Right.
could be that Paul knows he's injured and he's gonna have to relinquish it. So let me get ahead of that. But if that's not the case, if he doesn't relinquish the title, then why would Paul Heyman want to walk away from the world champion? That's
To
an
be with the
interesting.
future.
But the champ is still the champ right now. You know what I mean? Like you
Oh,
have the
Paul.
present and the future. Why break it up? Or why even
I
pick that side? That's it's not. I don't even like. We don't have the answers, right? So it's just curious, or I'm curious to see like when Paul Heyman grabs the mic and he starts to go on his spiel, what his reasoning is. Or it could even be a situation like back in the Bloodline days where he just feels forced to make a decision spur of the moment and he went with
right.
it. So there's a couple of ways it could play out.
It's a unique story right now that's finally picked up, and I'm so glad they pulled the trigger on it because I don't think us as a fan base, as a community, IWC could do another Monday night of tag team action with Division, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and the usual suspects running attack, beat down, and like yo, if we had to do another month, another week, another Monday night of that, I don't think people would have been satisfied coming off of the pay per view that was actually pretty damn good. Really
Yeah, it
solid
was a good show.
PLE.
That was
Really
a good
good
show.
PLE, yo. So like that spark was exactly the spark that WWE programming needed to turn things around for Monday Night Raw. Like absolutely. Like two thumbs up. Great work. Um, if you were just tuning back into Monday Night Raw and WWE programming, that is a great place to start this past episode. I just hope the follow up is good. Saturday night main event in Utah. CM Punk is the number one contender. Who knows what happens here? Will we do a tournament? Will it just be automatically Braun Breaker? People are saying it should just be CM Punk LA Knight, but then there's Jay Uso in the fold. So I don't know what can happen. I'm actually down for a fatal four way, a classic fatal four way, where it's just like, yo, you really don't know who's gonna win here, whether it's Braun Breaker, Jay Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk. And honestly, if CM Punk or LA Knight ended up winning the belt, and I preferably go LA Knight because I'm LA Knight guy, I think LA Knight would be a good
Yeah.
interim champion right now, just to kind of just get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, just even if it's not a long run and CM Punk ends up taking it from him at Survivor Series, nothing. At least just give it to him now while the iron is still hot. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to see. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'd love to see it. LA Knight as a world champ.
Bro, it's time, man. Like it's
Yeah.
it's it's like, yo, even if you just give them the belt for a month, like, yo, at least
Yeah.
we can say, yo, he's a former world heavyweight champion. Jey Uso had the joint for 28 days, so whatever, yo. Like,
True.
whatever.
True. And I think that they have enough room to experiment with that title. So
Yes,
experiment away. Like the
yeah,
Jay Uso thing was pretty much an experiment. You know what I mean? Like they experimented. If you go back and watch some of those Unreal episodes where it was like, yeah, you're hot right now, so let's just see what we can do. Put the belt on you, WrestleMania. That's not happening with the Cody Rhodes belt. Like Cody
it.
Rhodes belt is gonna be within the hands of like 2 to 3 people, maybe.
You
You
know
know what I
what's
mean?
crazy, yo? We'll talk about it, I guess, at some point. But that Cody Rhodes direction with the WWE title, I think Sami Zayn goes there when it's time, as opposed to the World Heavyweight title. I think the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, with the Seth Rollins injury, we're not going to get Punk Rollins for no time soon. So
Which is
that
cool
feud,
because we got a
yo,
good amount of we got a good amount. I'm full, bro. I've had enough. I don't need another plate. It's all good. It's
which is
all good.
crazy, is a blessing in disguise for all of us. Like, yo,
Like,
for
yo, hey
real?
Seth, man, hate it had
Get
to be
well
you.
soon, King. Get well soon, dog. But yo, thank God, yo. So so it leads us to be like, yo, now the world title picture looks fun again. Like now this looks like the Wild Wild West. You know what I'm saying? Like it's anyone's ball game now.
I
And I
always tell
just
you, like, one of my favorite periods in WWF was late 96, early 97, where like Shawn Michaels is coming off of his first reign. Sid has the belt. Vader's in the title picture.
yeah,
Austin's just coming up. Brett's just coming back. Shawn Michaels lost his smile. We don't know what's going on there. Like, there was so much chaos around that time where they were experimenting with the identity of the Federation in general.
mm-hmm.
They were also trying out some new energy in the main event scene, specifically Austin, Shawn Michaels. Brett had been there a couple of times, but now he's got a new attitude. So just being able to experiment, let's just try some things. That's when you start to really get some magic. So
I agree.
try some things. If it happens that Seth Rollins is out, like a name that comes up that immediately comes to mind is Gunther, right? He's been out for a while. No, he's been injured. He can come back into the title picture. One of the Bronze, whether it be Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker, is right there with um with Paul Heyman leading the helm. That makes a lot of sense. Jay Uso could always find his way back to the top. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of names that are sort of familiar, but haven't been like pushed to death. Plus we can again
I
L.A.
agree.
Knight, fresh blood. CM Punk hasn't had that title in a little bit. I can see like a nice little Braun Breaker CM Punk back and forth. That's interesting for a couple of months, or whoever. But we'll see.
Segue. Where does
We'll
Roman
see.
Reigns go from here now? Since we're not going to get the rumored Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania potentially with this injury. Don't know how long he'll be out.
Yeah, don't know how long he's out. I mean, look, if I'm looking at it as a hand injury, a broken hand, I would assume he should be back by April.
Shoulder, shoulder.
Oh, it's a shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder.
Was it like a
Immediate
ligament type of vibe or?
tear. Tear in the
Mm.
shoulder. Immediate surgery is what I read. I didn't
Oh,
get the specific part of the
well.
body, but it was
Hey man, I'm no doctor, and neither,
me neither.
neither. Yeah, I don't play
Me
one on
neither.
TV neither. So,
Me
all
neither.
right, let's say if it's not, if hypothetically we do not get Roman versus Seth at Mania, who is Roman feuding with? Like, hmm,
Braun Breaker World Heavyweight Championship.
yeah, they could
Either man
probably do that.
world title.
I mean, what do you think about this general direction of him and the Usos? Like, do they remain aligned, or I mean, where
Nah,
you
he just
see
wants
that
to do
moving?
this on his own.
He
He's
wants
just
to
like,
do
yo,
his thing. He
dog.
said, "I don't want to see y'all till Christmas," right?
That was crazy. That was so random. I was like, yo, wait. I was like, after ran that back, I was like, wait a minute, what did he just say? I was like,
Everybody got somebody in their family that if they haven't said that, they definitely thought it. Like,
yo,
yo, I
I ain't
know I'm
never
gonna have to
heard
see you for
nobody.
the holidays, but I don't
Yo,
want to see you before then.
it was so funny and specific. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody in a wrestling like ring even think about saying anything hysterical like that. I thought that was just like that was so unique and interesting. Like, I want to see y'all till Christmas, and I'm just like, what?
It's like my boy, what? That's harsh.
So the Raw Christmas tapings is when y'all finally gonna reunite for the holidays or something?
Yo,
Like, I
when
was
right after Cena retires, they're gonna do the Mania at the Garden, and that's when they're gonna reunite
like, you know what
off
I mean?
TV.
I don't know where that goes, yo. Like that's something that I can't even fantasy book because who knows with those three, man? Because
Yeah,
Jimmy could ascend, Jay might be heel and possibly lead the division. Who knows? Roman, I think will be world heavyweight champion before long, just to add that to his resume and to get the belt back and to be the world champion again. But in the meantime, I think CM Punk and LA Knight need to have the belt.
yeah, I'm kind of good on
A Roman Reigns
another
world title reign
Roman
again.
world title reign. Like enough. We
He's
can let
never had
that
the
breathe for
belt.
a
Why
second.
not? Fuck it. I mean, F it. Why not?
Nah, I mean let's just I like Roman right now in feuds. Let's just find some cool feuds and have him interact with some,
I
you
agree.
know,
I agree.
like the world title joint. I'm good.
Only
Even
because
if
I
it's him
think
chasing,
Sammy.
even if it's him chasing the belt, that's cool. He doesn't. I'm good on another reign. I don't need that.
Only because I think Sammy. I would love for Sammy to go after the WWE title if he wins the Royal Rumble, and we'll talk about that in later episodes. But
Yeah,
I just have a feeling that Sammy for the WWE title would be outstanding. Honestly, like
yeah,
it'd be better than the world title. It'd feel a lot better than the world title, and that's where Roman can elevate the world title picture with him and CM Punk, and let Sammy have the WWE title and go after that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But
Sammy's always had that Foley energy, man. Like whenever he wins that title, either one, that's super feel good energy, great vibes, and even with the belt, he's the underdog, which is always
yeah,
a
the
nice
Daniel
vibe.
Bryan reign. Like,
Yeah,
dog, if you
Daniel
haven't been watching
Bryan.
SmackDown,
Yeah,
that U.S.
Daniel
Open
Bryan
Challenge,
and the Mick Foley were very similar in that case, where with or without the title, they're still the underdog because they're being put in with people that are bigger, stronger, have more back end, even have more credibility in the main event picture. Period. You
right,
know.
bro? Sami Zayn in the U.S. Open Challenge is gunsmoke right now. Like completely. If there's anything to watch SmackDown for, is for them U.S. Open title challenges right now.
Mm,
Like complete gunsmoke on those. So I think if you saw Sami Zayn having those type of matches with the WWE Championship around his waist, you'd be like, yo, this guy is a primo champion here, man. Like, how could you not enjoy this product right now? Like, this
right.
is this is some quality wrestling right here for the WWE standards. Like, this is where the best might wrestle is Sami Zayn is your WWE champion. You know, like, so
I'm
that's
in.
just me geeking out.
I'm in.
Before we jump into anything else, John Cena's last 4 dates. How you calling it, my brother? How you calling it?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I really love as most people that I saw that last match with AJ Styles.
Beautiful.
That was
Cinema.
dope.
It's
Yeah,
outstanding.
that was
Outstanding
super
match.
dope, man. They just got in there and hit finishers from everybody they knew. You know what I mean? So that was just fun.
That was
I was
tough.
waiting. I was waiting for that Cena 450 splash. We didn't get that, but we did
If
almost.
John Cena pulled out a 450 in the middle of the ring, yo, dog, the internet would have imploded that night. Or
I was
that
waiting for the
morning.
450 splash. We got the 619 fake out.
According to Natalia, he texted her and said that was the wrong digits, wrong area code for him.
Yeah.
Wrong area code. He's like,
Wrong number, ladies and gentlemen. I
that's
don't know.
not my
Like,
area code.
I kind of just want to keep that same vibe. You know what I mean? Like, let's just see people that you have either had notable feuds with and matches with. So there's a number of people that you can do that with, or B, just go super unexpected. You know,
Yeah.
like Obafemi.
Oh, well, Femi's good.
You know, like that's super unexpected. Javon Evans, he's been rumored to being on his way to the main roster for the longest. That's a great look for him. You know, to get in
Javon
there
Evans
as one of
needs a credible win. Definitely needs a
yeah,
credible
yeah,
win.
he does.
You know what I mean? That boy need a credible win in
Yeah,
bad.
he does. But like that,
Um,
something like that would be interesting. I think a Carmelo Hayes also is like if you get a win over John Cena, you're in the driver's seat. That's not happening. Like he's kind of wrapped up with the Miz right now. But yeah, like something like that. Like if it's gonna be unexpected, I could see like an Obafemi or Javon Evans. You know, that's a good look for all of the above. And then if it's not, then who is he had like a notable feud with that's still around that they can kind of do one more match with? Like they already did the Orton, they already did Punk, right? They did the Punk and Cena joint
yeah.
this
They
year.
just haven't did John Cena Miz, you know what I mean? A WrestleMania callback. You know what I mean? I don't know if the crowd really clamoring for that one. But
Yeah, I don't. I'm good on anything involving the Miz.
he came to play. That's the
Yeah,
price to
yeah, yeah.
pay. Get out of
I'm good on.
here.
I'm good on
Um,
anything Miz involved. Who else is around like from Prime Cena era?
walk with me. I think he beats Dom at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental title to have the reign, just to add it to the you know. And then nobody's spoken about this. Like I gotta say, I'm probably one of the only people on the IWC on the podcast circuit that's probably even gonna speak this up. But I think he beats Dom for the Intercontinental title. And then since everyone's talking about his last match with Gunther, he has that match with Gunther, and Gunther beats him, becomes Intercontinental champion, and has the reign of hell again.
Wait, he's having a match with Gunther?
Yeah, that's the rumor. That is the last. That's the final match.
Uh,
Is him and Gunther. Like heavy. Like yo, Gunther is pretty much going to be the last. The
Gunther's
last
the
stop.
guy.
So
Cause they
that's
had they
why I
never
think
had a match before, right?
they
Gunther and
never had a
Cena.
match before. So
Okay.
that's going to sell out. Like that's what everyone is in 50,000 queue for tickets to get to that event. You know what I mean? That last night, him versus Gunther is going to be a sellout. And
Saturday night main event, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I say it's for the Intercontinental title, because it's a belt that Cena has never had. He's finally won it. It's his last match. He's facing Gunther, and Gunther does what Gunther does. You know what I'm saying? And Cena does the honors, and Gunther just begins his second reign of terror with the Intercontinental Championship for 2026. Because I know people want him back in the main event picture, but right now we still got LA Knight, CM Punk, and a whole other cast of crew that hasn't even touched that belt yet. I don't think we need to go back to Seth Gunther again.
Well, nah, Punk had it.
Yeah, for 50 seconds. Come on, man.
Had
You know
it
what I mean?
for
We can't do that. We
the
can't do that.
coffee was still hot, but it was for a cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
we can't do that again. So it's just like if Gunther goes back to the main event picture, so be it. But I just think let him just run it up in the Intercontinental title picture. It sucks that Rusev and Sheamus, they could totally be Intercontinental champions too, but Dom got the mega championship for AAA. If he loses the Intercontinental title to Cena, it'd be fire. If Cena puts him over, that's cool too. But I just think it would just add more spice. You know what I'm saying? If he had the Intercontinental title, the title that he never had, won. He completes the Grand Slam, completes it on the last match, the last hoorah. I think that's fly. Like nobody's talking about this, but I think that's very fly, yo. Like, why not?
Yeah, I'm in.
Like,
Sold me. I'm
why
in.
not? Like, and I feel like after we're speaking into the air, we're gonna see that churn. And when Survivor Series comes around, it's gonna be John Cena versus Dom for the Intercontinental title. Like, Cena might win this. Like, I think Cena could win this Intercontinental title. And what if he wins it? Dom could afford the loss. He'll get the belt back eventually.
Mm-hmm.
He's already the AAA champion. Like, he's gonna go defend that brand. You know what I'm saying? He still got Judgment Day. If John won the Intercontinental title, that's fly. That is fly to me. So I'm rolling with that concept. You know what I'm saying? I've been stewing on that one. So I think that's how we end John Cena's run as
Okay.
Intercontinental champion. I don't want to hear that. Oh, it's the Intercontinental title. It's just like he never had the belt. Like,
Yeah.
that's the title. That's the title he's missing. Like, yeah, it's only going to be 2 more appearances, but the belt's barely around anyway. Like, I'm lying. Dom wrestles. Dom wrestles. So, I mean, I say that, but it's only the winner is a couple weeks. Like, so what?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what? Yeah, man.
Well, speaking of champions, you want to hit Champions Watch?
Let's do Champions Watch, man. We back to
Yep.
it, y'all. That's our segment where we do our Champions Watch. We pick a champion, we evaluate their week, what's to come. This week, I'm going to go with my champion watch as Stephanie Vaquer. It's been a while since we've potted, and Stephanie Vaquer has won the World Heavyweight Championship. She's just a cool champion, man. She's a cool chick. She just looks like a cool badass. She doesn't look artificial. She just looks hella down to earth, unless she'll also scrap and give it up in the ring as well, too. She's fly. Her devil's kiss gets over every time. She's incorporated the spiral tap into her finishing set. She gave up that SVV. Well, I can't say she gave it up, but she's, that's her step up is the SVV bomb, which has gotten critically acclaimed hate across the entire world. They hate the name, they hate the execution, you know what I mean? So she got the spiral tap now, and it's wowing everyone when she hits it. She's going to have a great run. I think she's going to be champion for quite some time, and the money match at WrestleMania is unfortunately going to be her versus Rhea Ripley.
I mean, Rhea would win it. Because I don't see Steph going into Mania and Rhea not. I don't know, but the match itself would be so fire.
That's going to be money.
Like on that stage, that's like Steph Vaquer against like the behemoth of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, that's going to be money.
It's a nice match up there.
We've already gotten her and EO. We've gotten her and Tiffany. We're going to get her and Roxanne probably at the next PLE. Then probably her and Raquel. And from there, until Naomi returns, it's just going to be her pretty much just putting the smackdown on every single option and everybody in front of her until she gets to Rhea. And that was just off the dome. I thought she was going to get to Rhea to get to the main event at WrestleMania, which is going to be a great match, honestly.
Shouts to Steph, man. She's on a run, man. She's definitely on a run. She's been killing.
I agree. So who's your champion? Yeah. Who you rocking with?
You know where I'm going. I got 2.
Okay.
They're both new champs.
Okay.
I got 2. I'm going with in order of wins. For starters, I'm gonna go with Mike Santana, man. I've been a Mike Santana guy for a very long time. You know what I mean? Back in the first TNA run, that LAX run, him and Ortiz as a tag team doing their thing in House of Glory as well. Heading over to AEW, running with the Jericho clique, the injury, different issues outside of, getting himself together. And a lot of conversation that people, a lot of comments that people would throw around like, oh, you should, I saw somebody like, oh, you should just go grab the tag rope again. And it's very good to see, and it makes me feel really good to see people that bet on themselves and then prove those people that were talking crazy wrong.
Right.
Because here you have him as a legit world champ for TNA. Nice round circle moment, you know what I mean? Full circle moment, rather, where he came back to, the first federation that he really made his name at on a national stage. And now he's leading that federation in a seemingly a new TV deal, as a lot of people are talking about, is right around the corner. That partnership with NXT has been very fruitful. I wish it would have happened when we were at UBS, so I could have been there to see it live. You know what I mean?
Crowd wouldn't have left as early as
like there were people that left after the Dudley Hardys match, and then there was also, we were in Boston. Like, you got a New York guy winning in Boston. What are we doing here?
Where it's mad Dominicans, so it's just like Puerto Rican flag was scarce out there. It was very TNA-like of that booking. That was tough. That was tough to see, and I think really just the difference was, even with Mike winning the belt there, I think it really was him finally beating Trick, because that was going to be a problem. Trick was really going to be a headache with that TNA World title, which I thought was really good. Trick was great with the belt.
Man, Trick is such a main event guy, and I see it now more than I saw it with his NXT title run. And I think it's also partially just him as a heel. Like he's money as a heel.
Hmm.
You know, the character that he has right now is just top notch, and his wrestling is on point. Like the between the ropes, like
I
Trick is
agree.
killing it. And I think I think he did a hell of a job leading NXT as far as the partnership with TNA. Like he did a great job, and he was a great
Hmm.
formidable opponent for Mike Santana. Like you want to be able to get a title win over somebody that matters. You know what I mean? And Trick Williams certainly matters. So yeah, champion watch. My champ number one is Santana, and number two I'm going with Konosuke Takeshita. You know,
Had to include him. Had to
I'm
include the
going with
ace.
Konosuke Takeshita, the alpha, and now let's see if he could become the ace of New Japan. One way or another, I think that is the direction. He is the world champ right now, IWGP Heavyweight Champ.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, and I think it really does a great service for New Japan because you have a legit guy that many claim to be the best in the world or one of the best in
Hmm.
the world as the top guy at your federation, signed at three different promotions: AEW, New Japan, and DDT, also in Japan. Um, but the matches now, first of all, Goto, who never got his rematch because he got injured in a match with Zack Sabre Jr. That's the next one that's coming up. I expect Takeshita to get the W there, but then moving into Wrestle Kingdom season, top of the year, January
Hmm.
4th. Um, that back and forth with Okada, I think, spills over to the Wrestle Kingdom stage, or maybe I'm just hopeful that it does. But bottom line, wherever we go from now, Takeshita is the guy right now, and it also does wonders for the crop of, whether it be Uemura or Suji, who just beat Gabe Kidd for the global
Hmm.
title. Whoever actually finally does get that win to take the belt off of Takeshita way further down the line, they're a made man, or at least should be. You know what I mean? So thumbs up all around, and let's see, what the next couple of matches and what Takeshita looks like as a world champ, and let's see how that spills over on the AEW TV. Because in my opinion, the seeds have been planted as far as Okada and Takeshita. Takeshita is definitely getting kicked out of that group, whether he's the world champ or not. It ain't gonna be Okada. You know what I mean? We have a heel stable, and people have been rooting for Takeshita for the longest anyway. So that's going to be interesting to see as well.
I don't think Takeshita is going to have to take the Continental Championship from Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. I think they're going to save that one
I don't think it
for a
would be.
specific,
I don't think they would do a title versus title. I think it's one or the other.
just one or the other.
Yeah, I think the Wrestle Kingdom would probably be for the IWGP title,
Right.
which gives away the finish. But whatever, who cares?
I was like, are they going to just do it on New Japan territory? That match is too strong. You'd probably want to do it on AEW
I
territory.
think they do
It's a
both.
tough call.
Yeah, I think they do both. I could see. Let's see, maybe like Takeshita gets a win, let's say over Okada in the Continental Classic, but ends up not winning the tournament. That could be an option.
Okay. Let's fly.
Because it could be like they face off and then face off again in the finals, and Okada gets his win back. Now you got a 1-1. They do that in the G1 all the time, where the champ is in the tournament. Like Zack Sabre Jr., for example, was in the last G1. He didn't go undefeated. So maybe Takeshita takes one. Maybe in the title match when the Continental's on the line, Okada takes one, and then we get the rubber match at Wrestle Kingdom. That's one way to go.
Might as well, yeah, stretch the series
Yeah.
out. I mean, it's just a lot of them going back and forth, staring at each other, doing nothing. So it kind of makes me believe that something's going to happen at this PLE called Wrestle Dream that we're going to talk about next with our prediction show.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. Unfortunate what we're going to talk about when it comes to that particular pairing of Okada, Takeshita, and the Who's World Order.
You're really
But
down on this, and I'm like the complete
that is
opposite.
the worst. It's the worst thing in wrestling right now, yo. Like
Wow.
the absolute worst thing in wrestling, dogs.
I mean,
That's the worst.
how?
Who
Why?
wants Why do y'all enjoy the Who World Order?
What do you
Like, y'all
dislike
really
about it?
telling me that Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, Hechicero, Mark Davis, the interchangeables, this is what's supposed to fill up the roster. Like, there's more competition. There's more people that you can be using, but instead, every other segment is a six-man tag with a bunch of interchangeables that are going to lose, where it's actually guys that should be doing something, but they're just here. They're just here. Like, they're just here because we care about Takeshita Okada, Kyle Fletcher, or should we care about Takeshita Okada, Kyle Fletcher? Matter of fact, what's the pecking order? Takeshita, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, but Andrade's here, and then El Clone's here. Like, dog, I don't like. What are we talking about, son?
I
What are we
have
talking
no
about?
idea what the problem is. I look at it
Yo,
like
what are
this.
we doing?
You have a faction, you have soldiers, you send the soldiers out, and then you have the guys in the back that wait until the soldiers kind of clear the space, and then we get busy. Kyle Fletcher's not a soldier, right? Josh Alexander is right now. Takeshita is not a soldier. Hechicero is right now. That's the pecking order. Like, I think it's very clear that we have Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Takeshita that are the breadwinners for that. You have the rest of the faction that Don Callis is going to send out to do the dirty work. So what? You're mad because they're losing? I'm still trying to figure out what the problem actually is.
I'm mad because they're an actual faction. That's what I'm actually mad about. I'm
Why?
mad they're an actual idea, an inception, a conception, an execution.
So let me ask you this: should factions only have like 3 members?
Keep it at 4, maybe even 5 at most.
Like, I
The
really
muscle,
don't
the
mind it.
henchmen.
Like, I really don't mind it. Even looking, for example, at another faction in AEW right now is the Death Riders. We already know that when Wheeler Yuta goes out there, he's probably taking an L. But that's probably a chess piece to figure out what the next move is that John Moxley is plotting. What's wrong with that?
Yo, it was so painful for us to get through the Boar Horseman era. They're like, now the Who's World Order has just taken over. And it's just like these factions are not good. They're not better than the other. But actually Don Callis' family is worse than Death Riders
Yeah,
to
I don't
me.
know. We'll
Because it's
agree
just
to disagree.
interchangeable guys.
I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Ooh,
I just gave my logic too. Like,
you did.
I
Like,
see the role that some people are supposed to play. They're playing the role. I'm fine with roles being played.
what roles? But yo, everyone plays the same role.
No, the soldiers play the soldier role, and the non-soldiers play the non-soldier role. That's it. Like, that's really it. Look at any
You are
mafia movie,
now
bro.
watching Mad TV.
It's not even that. Look at any mafia movie, right? Any mafia setup. You got some people that they go do what I'm about to tell you to go do, and then you got people that's inside making the call. That's it. What's the problem?
Sammy the Bull, Johnny Guevara, Johnny Bananas. You got the interchangeable guys. I hear you, but it's crazy that Josh Alexander has to be an interchangeable guy. Like Andrade could potentially be an interchangeable guy.
For
Like
now,
it's
like,
just
I think like this. What also happens is you have built-in feuds once somebody inevitably gets kicked out of that faction or leaves that faction, and they're immediate baby faces because people are definitely booing Don Callis for the rest of his life. So let's use Josh Alexander as an example. At some point, Josh Alexander is going to ask the question of what the hell good is being done for me by being part of the Don Callis family, and then he leaves. Now you're going to feud with the people. Now you start racking up wins and chasing after the Don. Like, this is what this is set up for, bro.
yo, Kyle Fletcher is at the level of why are you hanging out and teaming with Rocky Romero and Lance Archer? Like this is disgusting. Your old former tag team
Cool, but
partner with who you
is he
made
taking the
history
L or
with,
are they taking the L's?
your own tag team partner with who you made history with is just another guy here that you don't even interact with that is
So
just there.
clearly
Like,
there's a clear divide. Like, he's a star, you're not. Like, I think that's very clear. And no disrespect, but that was clear when they were a tag team.
whose World Order shirts going out, man? RSC, man.
Yeah, look, man, you know, this is the
Let's
cool
get to
thing.
let's,
Like, you see things your way, I see things mine. I
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
disagree, but
yeah.
that's cool.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's get to the Wrestle Dream predictions because that's pretty much where there's a lot of these whose World Order talk is going to lead to with a lot of those matches.
All right, let me pull this card up. Wrestle Dream, Wrestle Dream, Wrestle Dream. How many pay-per-views do they have left this year?
I want to say 2. I'm about to jump. I'm about to switch over. See if this works.
All right, while we get that tech together. Oh, you got the background. Yeah. Well, while Chad is getting the tech together, let me bring him back in the room here. There we go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. So Wrestle Dream is when is Full Gear? Full Gear next?
Full Gear is next.
Full Gear is next in November. That's in Newark, and then World's End in December in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. So we got 3 pay-per-views, including Wrestle Dream, this weekend. Left this year. So right now, I'm gonna run through the matches, and then we can run through the matches one by one. So we have
let's do it.
FTR, Stokely Hathaway in the cut. They're taking on Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. We got Eddie Kingston and Hook. They are having a tag team match. That's TBA. We have Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Roderick Strong. It was an 8-man tag. So Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii versus Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Pac. We got Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley in an I Quit match. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Title, Men's World Title. Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm. It's for the AEW Women's World Title. We have a tag team match, $500,000 on the line. Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks. We have the AEW TNT title on the line, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. The AEW tag team titles, Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita. Don Callis in the building. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. And in a Tornado Trios match, the Hurt Syndicate, including MVP, will be in action against the Demand. Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona.
Hell of a card, my man.
There's some fire matches on here. This is stacked.
Card is intense.
Yeah, it's stacked. It looks like, at least the way the Wikipedia has it laid out, there's 4 pre-show matches. So let's start there, and then we can get into the actual pay-per-view card. So FTR versus Jet Speed tag team match. Look, I like Speedball Mike Bailey. I like Kevin Knight. But FTR, they'll be winning this. Because I think at some point, sooner rather than later, FTR is going to be in the tag team title picture sooner rather than later anyway, before the end of the year, I would say. So, yeah, FTR with the victory over Jet Speed.
FTR. Jet Speed are good fodder. You know what I mean? They're good holdover tag team. They're working for now, but I'm definitely going with FTR to pick up a W because they need to reestablish themselves to get ready for the next phase of their CNC Reunion Factory feud as we get into World's End.
Word up.
On this day, we will see clearly.
I mean, this match, you can't really even call it just TBA right now, according to Wikipedia, but Eddie Kingston and Hook are teaming up. Another tag match, we got Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
Yo, how fast we just breezed through an Eddie Kingston return.
What can you say about it?
That's crazy. Like, that's
no, I think it. No. I don't think it's. I think it's fine right now because he definitely has to get his wings back underneath him. You know, like I love Eddie Kingston, but the return match wasn't the best. So, get him in there with some tag action. I think is good for him and good for Hook. But what can I say about the match? I don't know who they're facing.
I just thought Eddie Kingston coming back would have been treated like much bigger of a deal. That's all. Like, more emphasis on Eddie Kingston because we lack main event quality names in the main event scene for the world title picture.
I mean,
not that he was going to be a challenger right off the gate, but I just, I thought it would have been just a little bit more. Like, damn, pre-show. It's like that's it.
I'm not mad. I ain't mad at it. He's got to get his feet back
I
underneath him.
feel you on the ring rust though. That big Bill match was tough. That was that
That
was
was a
that was
rough one.
briefcase tough. Like that was briefcase leather tough, yo. So
Yeah, that was rough.
yeah,
But I don't know. I
yeah.
like the pairing of Eddie and Hook, and whoever the opponents are, we'll see what it looks like. Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. I'm going with Bain and Ford, just because Megan Bain is right there on the other side of that.
Yeah.
She's dominant. I think she's
Yes.
going to remain dominant for a little bit of time. So,
Yes, she is.
boom.
Yes, she is. I'm gonna go with Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. I don't ever go against them at this point. When they introduced women's tag titles, finally, I think they'll be at the front run to win those belts against like Tay J, like Ty Mello and Jay. Like I think it'll be Megan Bay and Penelope Ford as the inaugural women's tag team champions. I call
Yeah.
it as a dark horse now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I would love to see the Renegade Twins involved in some way, shape, or form.
You have been advocating for the Renegade Twins since the inception of the Ringside Club. Let me tell you,
They
I've
are
watched.
dope, man. They are really, really dope.
It's crazy that like everyone was like, "Yo, Mercedes has creative control," and it's just like, well, how come this faction he's been trying to get off the ground is just not trying to get off the ground?
I mean, that just sounds like a bunch of people that listen to, I don't know, what other podcasters say and
Yeah,
just run with it.
yeah, yeah. It's just like, damn, like,
JD in New York vibes.
yo, man, me and him got into it recently, yo.
You and JD, what happened with
Yeah, we got into it recently on Twitter. So I know a
him?
couple of y'all
Really?
probably did peep that do rock with the RSC. So such is life, man. Such is life. I mean, I didn't say nothing crazy. I was just stating my case. I was listening to one of his clips. Like one of my
Yeah.
men, shout out to my man Pow TV, he sent me a clip over of what he does, and I was just like, yo, I don't like the egregious screaming, like the voice pitching and the
Yeah.
screaming. It just feels like I'm listening to a Kendrick Lamar like wrestling cosplay guy. Like it's just I just tweeted, I was like, yo, if there was ever like a first exit draft, like JD from New York's gotta get out of here with the screaming dog. And his legion of people found that tweet and
Oh,
just
yeah.
they just went up in my mentions. He caught that. He just slammed me saying I'm an AEW shill. Like he just went in and I was just like,
Wow.
yo, I never said I didn't like your content. Your takes aren't bad. It's just your delivery is terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, dog, you scream way too much. Your like mimicky, sarcastic voices are not. They're not in. People hit me like, yo, I see where you're coming from. Like, I actually
Yeah.
agree with you. Like, this screaming is mad unnecessary when I'm driving. Like, I don't. And then others are like, yo, it's entertaining. It's fun. I love when he screams. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not audio. It's not audibly fun. I told her, I was like, yo, it's just not audibly enjoyable. When I'm driving, listening to you screaming about wrestlers and the bad booking of AEW, I'm like, this isn't like enjoyable. Like, I don't like this. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. It's not enjoyable to hear you scream. It's like, stop screaming about Andrade. You're literally at your decibels like shouting. You're like, yo, you don't see the point of what I was like, yo, I'm a Jim Cornette guy, so y'all can't tell me about like bashing a company. Like, y'all can't talk to me about that. Like, I hear y'all. In fact, I like Solid Monster. You rock with Solid Monster content. Like, I think Solid Monster gets his point across, and they say the same stuff. But Solid Monster is more palpable than JD from New York. And that's where everyone was like, I see where you're coming from, but I still love JD content. And I was like, that's cool. Go love the content, but it's just not for me. He screams way too much for my drive. Like, it's way too much shouting. You see the clips on Twitter.
I can't. I think I've watched. I've definitely seen clips, and I even watched maybe a handful of minutes at one of his shows, and I agree. Like, regardless of what you're saying, like it's too much, man. It's just way too much.
It's way too much, dog. Like,
regardless of the actual content of what it is that you're saying, like your opinion is one thing, and whether I agree or disagree, we definitely don't need to be hitting the red on the microphone. So, like, you really don't.
That's all I was saying, my bro. That's all I was. I was like, yo, I have to turn this joint down. Like when I'm listening to a 5-minute clip of yours. Like it's like, yo, this is like actually like too loud.
I know there's a lot of people that just enjoy that genre of radio or audio, and I'm just not one of them. You know, like I think of like
it's not
like those sports cat like the LaGrecas, for example.
There we go. That's another one.
Both of them, both the sports LaGreca in wrestling, LaGreca. Like in a clip for 13 seconds is like, all right, LOL.
Yes.
But when that becomes like the thing, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like every time, I'm good.
It's like, yo, it's okay to just say, yo, your audio isn't palpable for me to enjoy on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're speaking to y'all as an audience, just literally calm like this. And people hit me like, yo, you talk too calm. Like maybe you should scream like Jay. This is like, no. Like, what
Nah,
am I
I ain't doing
screaming at
that.
my man's for about booking that has nothing to do with anything in our daily lives? What
Yeah.
are we doing?
Hey man, we ain't getting paid off of this. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
like, yo, no.
nah.
Which his report was, yo, I make a living off this. This is what I do, like, et cetera, et
Cool.
cetera. And I'm just like, yo,
Cool.
I'm just one person, dog. That's it. That's all I said.
Cool. You know what I
Cool.
mean? Like if he's making a living and the audience that he's serving is happy with it, cool. I'm just not subscribed. That's it.
Dog, it literally turned my timeline and my mentions into shambles for about a half a day. It's like,
Damn, I
shouts to
missed
X
that one.
Premium, where you can just remove yourself from the conversation and mute the whole ish and just get out of
Uh,
there. So shouts to X Premium for that fire feature, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
that's fun. That's
That
cool.
was next. So hopefully we don't have a hit out on us the next HOG show, but who knows? He probably won't even be able to tell we're there. Um,
I saw something about him not even being on commentary at HOG for a long time. I think since Mercedes was there, since we were there, actually.
I know Solid Monster is advertised for the Brentwood show, which probably won't feature Andrade anymore, unfortunately.
You know, WWE man.
Yeah, that sucks because I know a lot of people are really going to that Brentwood show for Andrade,
Yeah.
which is crazy the timing that it's going to fall on. But hey, at least you got Shayna Baszler.
Yo, I heard Shayna, man. I'd love to see Shayna pop up at like a little TNA vibe or AEW
AEW
vibe, either
vibes.
or.
I'd love to see her pop in AEW.
Yeah, either
I'd love
or.
to see her pop in AEW. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I guess we get into the main card now.
Yeah, let's do it. The only other match on the pre-show was Death Riders versus Conglomeration. We're going Death Riders. All right, on to the main
We
show.
definitely going Death Riders, yo.
Yeah. Um, I Quit match. Darby versus Mox. This is really who grabs the gun first. There's any two guys facing each other in an I Quit match where I can't figure out who's gonna say I quit. Like neither one of them are gonna say I quit. So I don't know, man. This is tough. I think I'm going Darby. I think either way, before I even pick a winner, this is not going to be something physical that one does to the other that causes them to say I quit. It's going to be like collateral damage. So in John Moxley's case, somebody gets their hands on Renee, you know, or in Darby Allin's case, somebody that he cares about or something close to him, you know, pops up on the screen or they bring him out ringside or something like that. Um, I saw somebody spitballing that, somebody he kidnapped Sting. He brings Sting ringside or something. Like I don't know exactly what it would be. I mean, look, Brian Danielson, right? I don't think that being a writer, right? There's a lot of things that I look at. Like, there's nothing that you would ever see on a TV show episode or a scene in a movie that is there for no reason. So I don't
Right.
think that he said this past Wednesday how much he cares about Brian Danielson and how this is all about Brian Danielson, Brian Danielson, Brian Danielson. I don't think that's for no reason. Brian Danielson will be there on commentary. So, and he's not medically cleared to do anything. So I could see a scenario where the rest of the Death Riders, and it makes sense because the beef is already built in, that they get their hands on Danielson right there and force Darby to quit so they leave Danielson alone. That's another way that this could happen.
That's a
Um,
good one.
you know what I mean? So I think it's something like that. Whether like I don't think Renee, like I said Renee earlier, Renee and John Moxley have not been linked to each other on TV like ever outside of maybe once or twice where an awkward moment backstage when she was interviewing him, especially since he's been with the Death Riders.
It's been
So
referenced. I think like Swerve referenced it before,
yeah, but
like
like it's
like their
never been
husband.
like an important part of the storyline, you know? And
Darby sets Renee Moxley got on
you know what I
fire.
mean? That's not a baby face thing to do. So I wouldn't see like Darby's not going to get his hands on Renee. So I can see it being the other way around. So now I think I've talked myself in the Mox winning because Brian is right there at ringside. and they attack Bryan.
This is tough because how else do you end this feud? How else more gorier do you get with this feud? What other more stipulations can you add to this feud? I can't call it with this, bro. Because Darby is using everything under the kitchen sink as an ally because apparently he has no real friends. So that's the shtick is,
Molotov cocktails,
yeah,
flamethrowers,
tasers. It's
Yeah.
everything. Walking like a zombie to the ring. That was next. Whatever, yo. I just can't see the Death Riders being like. It's like, dog, how? Like, is this the end? This can't be the end of if Moxley wins. Because now where's Darby even go from here? Which is a question we'll have to think about later on. But it's just like, give Darby the win and move him up in the main event scene already. Moxley can be all right. If Moxley has to take a break, I think this is the vacation that he wanted. Like the inevitable John Moxley, like, yo, thank you for doing your services. Now just go home and just chill out. Which is what we always joke about.
It
And
ain't
then he
happening
just shows right
ever.
back up and has a match with Ishii on Collision. It's just like, yo, dog.
I don't think it's look. I don't think he's ever going on vacation. I think we can
Yo,
wrap that.
take a break.
We
Just
can wrap
chill,
that
dog.
thought up. It ain't happening.
Yo, it was crazy enough that he had to have a match with the Japanese baked potato with arms and legs. So now this is what he's always just gonna do: is he's just gonna just win the main event feud and just come back and wreak more terror. I don't know, man. I just think Darby needs to win this, yo, and end this feud. Whatever Darby does after is whatever. Maybe Moxley goes with Samoa Joe. I'm down to have a feud with him and Samoa Joe, like a blood feud. Like, let's really do a Ops Death Riders feud for real, for real. Let's move into that direction. Let's
I'd
get
like to see
Powerhouse
that.
Hobbs involved.
We also haven't seen
Eddie Kingston and Moxley. Let's get to
yeah,
that. Let's
Eddie
cut
Kingston
right
and
to the
Miles.
chase with that.
I was also going to say we haven't seen and we'll talk about them later, but the Hurt Syndicate and the Death Riders.
Let's get to that. They caught up right now with the demand, so I don't think that'll be anytime soon. We still got to have a trios feud with that for the titles. And so, yeah, let's just pivot, man. I'm going Darby. I'm going Darby on it.
Cool. I got Mox. You got Darby.
Yes,
So what
sir.
what do you think actually makes Mox say I quit?
He's gonna get tased in the balls or something. I don't know. Edge will come out
Yikes.
and give him the baseball barbed wire bat Barbie. He'll have Janice. He'll hit him with the Nick Gage light gauge tube. Like, it'll just be egregious. Like, it'll just be some type of massacre. He'll pull out a chainsaw. Who knows with Darby Allin, honestly? Yes, I said a chainsaw
Yikes.
because that's the only thing that hasn't been shown on the AEW
I
programming at this
mean,
point. Is
outside of a shotgun, you know what I mean? Outside of some firepower, bro. My man brings a lawnmower out there and just
bro, he's gonna bring a chainsaw out, and everyone is gonna lose their mind at this pay per view. Like, yo, he brought a
chainsaw,
chainsaw to the ring.
chainsaw
The
Charlie,
real
chainsaw
chainsaw
Darby.
Charlie, Darby Allin himself. That's the
Crazy.
only thing this feud hasn't taken it to is that far of an extreme. So I'm going
Yep.
Darby. Darby just somehow, some way, light gauge tube, something. He's just gonna stab him. He's gonna straight up stab him, yo.
Mentioned the Hurt Syndicate a couple moments ago. They got the Tornado Trios match
They hurt people.
against the Demand, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony.
They hurt people.
They do hurt people.
They
They took a
hurt
loss, by the
We
way,
hurt
on
people.
Wednesday.
We
First
hurt people.
actual tag team loss. Like Shelton Benjamin has gotten pinned once or twice in AEW, but the team of Benjamin and Lashley haven't, even though Benjamin took the pin here. Yep. We've seen MVP take a L. We've seen Benjamin take a L. I don't think we're gonna see Lashley get pinned at all anytime soon, if ever.
Never. Never.
You know what I mean?
Never. No
So I'm
chance.
going with the Hurt Syndicate here. I do like the trio. I like the group, the Demand. I think like they've been able to build a nice little chemistry, spending more time around each other. You know, but
GOA got the win on Dynamite, so I'm going Hurt Syndicate. I think
exactly.
Bishop,
I mean,
Khan,
that's the other
somebody's just
reason.
gonna take.
Yeah, they just won to make it feel like there's a chance, but I'm gonna go with the Hurt Syndicate as well.
Yeah, we going with the Hurts. They hurt people.
Yeah. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Jamie.
Jamie. Actually, Jamie just got the win, and Tekla is everyone's favorite in AEW. Apparently, the
I
new
like
hot
her.
spot of the week. I'm actually going
Yeah.
Tekla.
Going
Yeah,
Tekla.
I'm going
Okay.
Tekla. Tekla could use the win right now. Jamie Hayter not so much. Their feud hasn't been talked about or cared about since May because of Jamie's, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
injuries and whatnot. So Tekla. Shouts to them
Okay.
having more women's matches on the card though. That's what's up.
Yep. Tag team titles on the line: Brodito versus Okada and
Tough,
Takeshita.
tough. This is a
There's
tough one right here.
so many ways that this can
This is
go.
tough, brother.
It is
It's
tough.
tough.
Gun to head right now. I'm gonna go Okada Takeshita just because that's gonna help to build the tension over the next couple of months between those two for their inevitable, I guess, Continental Classic showdown and all of the booking that we spoke about earlier. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Callis family on this one, Okada Takeshita. But again, like I can see it being the other way where let's say Brodito retains not only because of what they do, but because like, Okada hits Takeshita with the Rainmaker out of nowhere. Like just get tired of being around each other, or vice versa. He walks away, He finally gets a conscience and walks away from the Callis family, leaving Okada there to get pinned. But Okada ain't getting pinned.
Okada not getting pinned
You know
about
what I'm saying? Like
mother
Okada's
fudging Brodito.
yeah, Okada. That's gonna be. We should probably start a little pool to see who loses first, who gets pinned first, Lashley or Okada, because you know what I mean. Like it ain't happening anytime soon for either one of
It's
them.
tough, bro. It's tough with that feud, man. Like that match in particular. I can't call it. I think Brodito just got the belts damn near. I feel like they just got them.
I want to say they've had it for, and I could look it up, but a couple months, 2 months.
I mean, I know we try to not always say, yo, you gotta have the longest title reign, but it's like, come on, man. Let's give them some juice. Like give them a couple more months, a couple more weeks at least, a couple more defenses. Which I think is why they
They
had
formed in July, and
the
they
one that's
won the
next month.
titles in August at Forbidden Door.
Which is why I'm just like, they could still have some more juice. You have a Ring of Honor world champion who's feuding with someone in the Who's World Order already in Hechicero. Then you have the New Japan world champion. You're not pinning him. Then you have the Continental champion who never loses. You're not going to pin him. Double champion. They feud. Who takes the pin when the belt's got to be lost? That's even crazier. Because then they're going to have their one-on-one match, but then you just have random guy from what's the tag team? What's the tag team everyone loves that they never win? Speaking of AW tag teams, I know. I guess it's a little general there.
There are a few.
Yeah, that was a little too general. That was crazy.
Them? Oh yeah.
You know those guys, right? Like, what's everyone loves that never win? You mean like half the tag division? That's why we have guys who aren't a tag team challenging the tag team titles.
Nah, they got a name. They got a name. They're Brodito.
No. Who is the group that was with FTR, yo, that everyone loves online, man?
Oh, the Outrunners.
They're gonna beat Okada and Takeshita in 2 months' time before Wrestle Kingdom. Like that's what I'm saying. Like where do we? It's
what
tough.
I think can happen though. What I think can happen is kind of a combo of the way I just laid it out. Let's say, begrudging. English, my boy.
Regurgitating.
Begrudgingly. Let's say Okada and Takeshita do pull it out, right? Pause. And they win the titles. I can see Brodito getting the titles back in a month, right? Because that tension is going to build to the point that they're going to implode, speaking of Takeshita and Okada. And that leads us up to the Continental Classic nicely, assuming that Takeshita is going to be a part of that tournament.
That is true.
So I think they, have the belts for, let's say, a month and then drop them back right before the Continental Classic. And then we have just another layer on top of the tension there between Okada and Takeshita.
I'm going to go on a limb and say we get an unusual disqualification on AEW's behalf.
You could do that or a time limit draw.
Time limit draw. There we go. I like that. That's safe. because I'm just like, you can't pin two world champions, the unbeaten guy, and then there's Brody King, who's the biggest guy in the whole match. You know what I'm saying? Like, time limit draw is good. I'm going with time limit draw.
Time limit
20
draw.
minute solid tag team title match that people are going to be like, yo, it's actually a really solid tag team title match. Like,
Yeah.
Bandito and Takeshita wowed me.
I'm going Okada to Takeshita.
I'm going time limit draw.
TNT title. Fletcher defending against Mark Briscoe. Going Fletcher.
I want to go Briscoe.
I want to go Briscoe, yeah, but I'm going
I want
Fletcher.
to go Briscoe because he just can't keep losing to everyone in the world on a regular basis when it matters. Like, yes, he just beat MJF, but what's happened since? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't really follow that up with an I just beat MJF type of follow up. You know, so
Which this is technically it. So it's like,
yeah.
he should win. Like, this should be the feel good moment because I don't think any real titles are going to change on this card. This doesn't look like a title changing card, which is why I think this could be the surprise right here.
If it does happen, I'd be surprised if I was betting money. Do you
Kyle
put money
Fletcher
on
does
Fletcher?
have more juice holding on to the title longer, but then what happens with Mark Briscoe? Back to the conglomerate and collision cold openers. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's too good of a babyface right now. He needs to be just more Mark Briscoe. That's all I'm gonna say.
I do agree. Like, he's, to me, should always be like, at least upper mid at all times, right
His
around one of these
C2
titles.
run this year should be like not the underdog, but like, yo, Mark Briscoe's whooping ass in the C2. Like,
yeah, I'd like to see it. So you're going Briscoe.
Yeah, I'm going Briscoe.
I think I might follow suit. What the hell? A little upset never hurt anybody.
Why not,
I'm
man?
go
There ain't no real title supposed to change on this card. And if there's anything that could happen that was going to make us excited, Mark Briscoe being a TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher loses nothing. If anything, they'll probably play hot potato and feud continuously even more with the title.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kyle Fletcher moves up and becomes a real threat to Hangman.
Yeah. 3 matches left. $500,000 cash prize. We got the Bucks against Jurassic Express. I have no idea.
Jurassic Express, just for the sake of having the $500K to just get new gear and celebrate and have the Bucks just in despair because they spent all their money. That's all I got for them.
I think this
is best of 9. I'm down for a best. Down for a best of 9 between it. Man, are you down for that? Because I'm down for that. Keep these 4 intertwined with each other. Like, the Harley Boys can be in their own universe with Jurassic Express for the next 9 matches.
Chad's already booking Forbidden Door 2026. That showdown between the Bucks
and Jurassic
Express in England. I'm good, dogs.
That will keep both teams occupied, and we don't ever have to be like, yo, here come the Bucks being tag team champions again. It's like, nah, they just having a blood feud with Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Guaranteed blood feud, which is cool. Man. At least we know what to expect, right? It's like it's like the MFT. It's like Solo and his crew. It's like you always see this coming. So it's like, all right.
You're going Jurassic Express. I might go to Bucks.
More money for them to blow. They can buy back their EVP status. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've never really been into that storyline. Like, I don't have money. Like, I get it.
I don't think anyone really is, except for
for the Bucks.
Super diehards. You know
it's just the Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks like it. But yeah, I don't know. And then we have 2 world titles left. Women's world title. Got Chris Statlander defending against the former champ, Timeless Toni Storm. I love this because she won it in a triple threat, but to have that definitive
fatal 4-way. It was a fatal 4-way.
Fatal 4-way, pardon me. Yeah. But to get like a real definitive win, even though she pinned Toni Storm in that match, because it wasn't a one-on-one match, this could be that definitive win that really makes us look, all right, you're the world champ. So, yeah, I'm going Chris Statlander, and I'm really going with with Chris Statlander being looked at as like a real champ by the time we get out of this pay per view.
There's
Plus,
nothing
like
really of
Tony
significance
Storm is
with Tony winning.
exactly like we've done this. I think like the best thing about Tony, like she's been killing it in the ring, but she's as big a star as she is because of character development. So her not only losing the title but losing the rematch in a one-on-one, especially fair and square, I don't think anything outside of the ring is going to affect this match. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to send her into either a downward spiral. Maybe she takes time off and refreshes when she comes back. We'll see. But ain't no real losses here in the grand scheme of things.
It's gonna
So
be a
I'm
good
going I'm
match.
going
Really
stat
quality women's match. I'm definitely going
stat
Statlander.
baby.
Definitely going with Racklander. Li's on.
Yeah. And then the other world title match, the men's world title. Paige defending against Joe. Go on Paige.
Samoa Joe chokes him out and wins the world title. The end. That's all I got.
Ain't happening.
That's all I got is Samoa Joe being a double champion. Everything is right in the world where you put the title back on Samoa Joe, who could either be a true villain, a true babyface. He can talk, he can wrestle, he can be a draw. Put the belt back on Samoa Joe because Hangman Adam Page is just up ish creek right now, just staying afloat with this title reign, man. And I knew this would happen. I really knew this would happen, you know.
I first of all, I'm going with Paige. I think it's a a nice, fair and square, definitive win over Joe. I don't think there's any drama in my mind as to who's walking out with the title. I don't really like Joe is always a threat, but Joe's not a threat. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. Joe is Joe,
We know.
but Paige is the champ and will be the champ for a while, and that is to me no reflection on Paige. It's a reflection on what I've said half a billion times. If you don't give the world title or any champ for that matter a real threat as an opponent, it's gonna feel like a foregone conclusion until it's not. So it's to me no point in like calling for him to lose the title just because you're not really feeling the title reign right now. It's a matter of how much do you really think a chance, how much of a chance do you think Joe really has? Like not because of who Joe is, but because of this is where we are in the booking right now. We're in the cycle of I don't think there's any real drama here. And that's what it is. I think the match is going to be fire, and I think it's still going to be a big win just because of who Joe is and how long Joe has been Joe. So it's going to be a nice win for him, but Joe is
MJF
not
pop
winning
up.
that match. Huh?
Got an MJF pop up.
He could, but what's the point? You can't cash in. They got to be a week out. So
He's just
maybe
gonna be there to let you know, like, yo, I'm still on your heels.
Yeah, I can see that, but if MJF isn't doing damage, I don't see him popping back up. So if MJF does pop up, it's going to be after the match, and it's going to be him with somebody doing the dirty work, and him kind of picking the bones. But I don't know if we're really ready for that. I see that MJF Page thing being more of a world's end type of vibe. Like we end the year with that feud.
Something's up because every Wrestle Dream ends with a cliffhanger or something to be excited for in these past two Wrestle Dreams. Between Hope's debut, Death Riders killing Bryan Danielson and taking the world title hostage. This Wrestle Dream is just going to end flat with Hangman Page raising the belt in the air after beating Samoa Joe over a feud that no one asked for. But it kind of makes sense, though. Because there's no real credible competition for Hangman Page at this point. That's where I'm like, something's got to pop here. Like, there's got to be something.
The credible competition is absolutely MJF. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real feud. And that's the drama for me. You know what I mean? Like,
just expect MJF to come through, return, kick him in the
I just don't know if it's this.
And that's it.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's Wrestle Dream. Like, to your point, there's always some drama happening in that Wrestle Dream to send the crowd home wondering what's happening next.
Mm-hmm.
And Full Gear is next. Full Gear is one of their tentpole pillar.
That is true.
Pay-per-views.
That is November.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Nonetheless, Paige is walking out with that title.
Yeah. I'm gonna just hold down hope that Samoa Joe wins. I said a prayer.
I'd like to see it. I loved it when he had it the last time. So
I did too, man. I was here for the Samoa Joe. So I'm glad he was able to get a title
look,
reign
yeah.
in this era right now. Truth be told, because he just said if we didn't report on it, his retirement run is this year. It's 2026.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah, after this contract expires, he's done. So maybe it's 2027, but it's definitely in the next 2 years. So between him and AJ, our goal to retire.
A lot of them names, man. Yeah, AJ's out of here. Samoa Joe
gone.
Cena, Tanahashi.
Rightfully.
Tanahashi's out of here right after Cena. Cena's done in December. Tanahashi's done in January.
AJ Styles, there's no tentative dates or anything going on.
I think there probably will be. Like, I think after we get done with
Cena,
yeah, like they'll let Cena get his shine off right now. But once it's announced that I'm definitely retiring, I think we get a date. I don't know if it's gonna be as or. Just because he doesn't have that same cachet in WWE, but he'll pop back up in TNA before he's done.
That'd be dope if he could pop back up for like Slammiversary and then like accept his Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory next year. Like that'd be dope. That would be dope if that could be the case with AJ's retirement. Yeah. Joe's retirement run would be interesting because I feel like half the guys he feuds with already from his heyday are in AEW at the moment. It's like one last time, Samoa Joe, Roderick Strong.
Yeah, they're in AEW. I also think he'll do one or two last ROH shows.
Yeah, I think he'll do that too.
Just for the vibes, man. Like, come in and do a little pickup game, man. 3-on-3 half court. What up?
Wouldn't even be surprised if he goes out as the ROH World Champion in the last match. Like, yo, I'm just gonna win and retire and give the belt.
I don't like those, man. I don't like people that just win the title to declare it vacant because I don't want it anymore. Whether it be because
I'm retired,
you have another title, or you're retiring. I think that's whack. Like
I went out as the world champion.
Nah, that's whack to me. That's whack.
Champion of developmental for Ring of Honor.
Samoa Joe, 25-year veteran.
Yo, the commentary for the Hardys being the NXT Tag Team Champions got me crying, son. It's like, yo, they belts, man. What you want to do, dog? Like the third brand. Like they're not that developmental at this point. It's not Evolve. It's not LFG. It's not ID. There's layers now.
Yo, there's like 3 developmental brands. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like NXT is not that developmental at this point. It's the third brand. It's the third option.
It's the small venue show that they got.
Yeah, it's just the small venue show, bro. It's the Tuesday night show. It's not Evolve, LFG. Like it ain't that. Oh man, it's can't believe the Hardys are regressing. It's like, nah, NXT is popping in its own right. Shout out to Ricky Saints and Trick Williams, man.
Yeah. And that's Wrestle Dream, man.
That's Wrestle Dream. That's the RSC, the Almighty. We done get y'all an hour and a half of some wrestling content. It's been a while. We wanted to make sure we coach y'all all up to date on what's been going on in the world. We want to give our takes with y'all. Make sure y'all laughing, enjoying our feedback and what's happening in the wrestling community right now. You dig?
Yes, sir. With that being said, we'll catch y'all next time. We out here.
Gone.
Peace.